Hey guys, today on People Now, we go inside Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton's 4-year relationship and the exact reason they aren't married yet. It's in this week's People Cover story.
Christmas gift idea alert. You could get Meghan Markle's deal or no deal suitcase in an upcoming auction. We'll explain.
Also today, now
I'm
it's
like,
been
happy
9 months
anniversary.
since
He's like, are we going to do this every month? I'm like, yes, we are.
Leah Michelle is here with an update on married life and all her new Christmas projects.
Plus,
If the main character is a girl, make sure she's married by the end.
the powerhouse cast of Little Women tell us about the fun they had on and off set.
Former Victoria's Secret fashion star Lily Aldridge has a new perfume, a sweet new baby boy, and a great cause to help children.
She's here live to tell us all about that and more on People Now. Let's go.
Hey, happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to People Now. Here we go.
Yeah.
Lots to get to today. We're beginning with this. This week's People Cover story is taking an inside look at Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani's 4-year relationship. So multiple sources tell us that they are ready to take their relationship to the next level, but they have hit a bit of a roadblock. Gwen is a practicing Roman Catholic and hopes to marry Blake with a church ceremony. Here's the deal. The Roman Catholic Church doesn't allow remarriage after a divorce unless the earlier marriage is annulled. And an insider confirms a church ceremony isn't really possible currently for them. So are they going to be able to work it out? We'll find out. But Gwen was previously married to Bush frontman Gavin Rossdale for 13 years before they split in 2015. Blake was also previously married to fellow country singer Miranda Lambert for 4 years before finalizing their divorce in 2015. Now, even with that roadblock, a friend of the couple confirms that both Blake and Gwen are certain they've found the one and that they are definitely headed toward marriage. We'll have even more about Blake and Gwen's love story a little later in the show, so stick around for that. But for now, we move on to this. If you collect Hollywood or royal memorabilia, listen up for this story. On Tuesday, the next Tuesday, the Hollywood A Collector's Ransom auction starts. You'll be able to purchase some pretty iconic pieces like a dress from The Wizard of Oz worn by Judy Garland. Really cool stuff. This costume from the 2003 smash hit Freddy vs. Jason, which is freaky to imagine having that at your home. I don't know if you get the claws or not, but maybe the sweater, whatever. The most exciting thing for us, the briefcase that Meghan Markle once held on the show Deal or No Deal. So in 2006, if you didn't know, Meghan took the job as a suitcase holder on that show. Still sporting Meghan's Deal or No Deal number 24, that aluminum suitcase features chrome handles, a crushed red velvet lining, if it could have gotten any better. Maybe the perfect Christmas gift if you've got the cash. The briefcase also has a notable connection to President Donald Trump, who appeared as a guest during the show's first season when that same briefcase was on display. So how much do you think that famous briefcase is listed for? It's in fine condition, expected to be sold for around $4,000 to $6,000. So happy bidding, wow. Would you pay that? No.
Of course not.
Neither, but someone will. Let's move on to this. Jessica Biel and her husband Justin Timberlake are moving forward despite recent drama surrounding their relationship. In this week's issue of People, a source close to the couple says that Biel is standing by her husband after he was seen holding hands and sitting closely with his Palmer co-star Alicia Wainwright. The two were spotted on a balcony during an outing with friends in New Orleans on November 23rd, sending the internet into a frenzy. A source tells People, quote, "Obviously, Justin drank too much this time, but Jessica believes he did not cheat on her," adding, "What's most important to her in life is her family, and being the best mom to Silas, she'll never break up her family over something like this." Justin and Jessica have been married since 2012 and share 4-year-old Silas. In the wake of the incident, Justin apologized to his wife and son in a lengthy statement shared to his Instagram. That was on December 5th. In that post, Timberlake assured fans that, quote, "Nothing happened between him and his co-star," adding in part, "This is not the example I want to set for my son. I apologize to my amazing wife and family for putting them through such an embarrassing situation, and I am focused on being the best husband and father I can be." A source close to Biel says it was good that Timberlake apologized publicly, but that the real work that he is doing is happening in private. While Timberlake is known in entertainment circles as a natural charmer, a music industry source says that he's matured since becoming a dad. And that source explains, saying, "I don't think that he would do anything to change his current situation. He's grown up a lot over the past few years and enjoys every minute of being a dad. He even likes the added responsibilities." Now, in terms of the misstep, that source says, quote, "I doubt it will happen again." Another insider adds that Jessica is a beautiful and intelligent woman. He knows that, and he loves her. Now, Biel has yet to speak out about the situation, but she was spotted out in Los Angeles 2 days after the photos of Timberlake and Wainwright dropped, and people looking noticed that she was wearing her wedding ring. And a day after he posted his apology on Instagram, Timberlake also photographed wearing his wedding ring while on his way to a workout in New Orleans. So people looking at the rings, seeing if anything's changing. As for Wainwright, she's returned to the Palmer set. Her representative previously told People that there is no validity to the romance rumors, while a source close to the set says nothing has changed or been influenced by the press reports. The show goes on. For more on Jessica Biel and Justin Timberlake, pick up the latest issue of People on newsstands Friday. All right, let's talk about this. Country star Drake White is revealing in this week's issue that he is still in recovery and using a cane after his brain hemorrhage in August. Really serious situation. When White collapsed on stage just 15 minutes into his concert this summer, he thought that he was about to die. He tells us he felt a sharp pain in his left side and went numb. He was quickly pulled off stage and recalls having what he described as an unbearable headache. White was taken to the nearest hospital center and was later diagnosed with a brain hemorrhage, possibly connected to the treatment that he had been receiving for an arteriovenous malformation, more commonly known as AVM. That's an abnormal tangle of arteries and veins in the brain that disrupts normal blood flow. After being transferred to a Nashville hospital where he stayed for 30 days, Drake White returned to his home to begin the fight to regain the movement that he had lost on his left side following that collapse. These days, he reveals to People that he's at 75% in terms of recovery, and White now walks with a cane, spends 3 days a week in physical therapy, and he is relearning the guitar. He tells us, quote, "As tragic as this has all been, it forces you to look at everything differently." But what hasn't changed for White is his drive to return to the stage. He says this: "My health is my first priority, so I can get back to making music. And if I can get through this, I can get through anything." We, of course, wish him all the best in that recovery. And Andrea, you have more for us in Star Treks.
I do. We are kicking off Star Treks today with the sighting of our favorite Game of Thrones couple. Kit Harington and his wife Rose Leslie were photographed together for the first time in nearly 6 months on Tuesday when they stepped out for the MS Society's Carols by Candlelight. It was at St. Botolph's Without Bishopsgate Church in London. Kit wore a black jacket with navy blue scarf, while Rose bundled up in a multicolored coat for the event. Now, earlier this year, Kit's rep confirmed to People that ahead of the series finale of Game of Thrones, the actor decided to utilize this break in his schedule as an opportunity to spend some time at a wellness retreat to work on some personal issues. A source previously told People that Kit struggled with his status as an A-list star after shooting to fame on the show. Now, the couple got married in June of 2018 in Scotland, and a source told us in June of this year that they were together in England for their wedding anniversary. They look so happy there in this video. The source also revealed that Kit had been spending some quality time with Rose following his treatment, and that the couple were also meeting up with family and friends, adding Kit and Rose seem happy. The duo famously portrayed star-crossed lovers on Game of Thrones, where we all fell in love with their relationship on screen and in real life. All right, Kevin Hart is opening up about his recovery 3 months after his very terrifying September car crash. On Wednesday's episode of The Ellen DeGeneres Show, the actor and comedian reveals how far he's come since the accident, which required him to undergo emergency back surgery.
I'm about 65 to 75% back to my physical self. Workouts are not full. I'm not lifting crazy weights, but I'm back to weighted workouts, agility, mobility, core workouts. I'm a little determined jackass. So
I see that.
Yeah, there I go. That's me, guys. There I am.
Yeah, he's back at it. Though he's feeling better now, Kevin said he was left helpless immediately after the crash, and he had to really rely on his family, telling Ellen, quote, "You don't realize that your back is connected to everything. So coming out of back surgery, everything changed because you're kind of helpless. That's when you get to see what really matters, who really matters. Life kind of hits you in a completely different way." Kevin also shares what he's learned from this entire experience.
The things that you think matter, you realize don't. Because when you're in that room, it's not about your level of success. It's not about how much money you have. It's about that. It's about those individuals and who you really mean the most to and who mean the most to you. So I got a completely different look on life now, a much better one. So.
Yeah. Kevin also says that he's rebuilding his life to become the better version of himself, and that he spent the last 3 months recovering at home with his family, revealing it's the longest consecutive period of time he's ever been home. He tells Ellen, quote, "I've never been home for more than 8 to 10 days. I've never been home for a consecutive period of 10 days straight." And he adds, "I feel like God sat me down." Well, we are so happy to see him doing better and continue to wish him a speedy recovery. All right, we are so excited for Jumanji: The Next Level. We'll even be talking to the cast all about it in just a bit. But first, we want to know which actor's character is your spirit animal. Vote in our People poll. Let us know your thoughts using the hashtag PeopleNow. So get a tweeting. All right, she has 6 children, 10 grandchildren, and a very full schedule. But Kris Jenner still manages to keep a level head during the busiest time of the year. Kris discusses gift giving and the holidays in the latest issue of People while on the set of her new campaign for Botox cosmetic gift cards. And even though she's passed the Christmas party torch to Kim, she still celebrates full force, especially when it comes to picking out presents for her family. She tells People, quote, "I get so excited planning what their gifts will be. We have so many little ones, it's like a built-in preschool." They do have a lot of kids. And what exactly does Christmas morning look like for the Kardashian Jenners? Well, Kris tells People, quote, "Christmas morning, we're usually at Kourtney's house, so she's in charge of all the stockings. And with a family that big, it can be hard to pick out the right gift. But you'd be surprised to know the girls are not the hardest to shop for. Kris reveals the guys are actually the toughest, but she always has a go-to, saying, quote, "I usually get Kanye and Scott something in the jewelry category." Can you imagine getting Kanye West a present?
No. Like, what do you get him?
Well, I don't know. She figures it out.
Well, she has the money to do it, though.
Yes, that's true.
You know what I mean? To get
a lot
something
more money
impressive.
involved
Right.
here. Kris also reveals how she stays sane during the busy holiday season. She says she has a routine that consists of a massage, a facial, a manicure, and of course, a little Botox. Kris explains, quote, "Personal care is really important, and I taught my kids that when they were young." She adds, "I wish I had more sleep. That's the next step." And the holidays are a time of joy, so Kris doesn't really dwell on anything negative. She chooses to focus on the positive, and she's able to do that by spending time with her grandkids. Kris also tells People that she's looking forward to the new year. She shares, quote, "I'm excited about life in general. Watching the kids grow is really fun. Some of them are going to be starting school. I'm really blessed that my mom is still here and feeling okay. I hope I still have her adventurous spirit when I'm 85. Very sweet." And those are your Star Tracks for today.
All right, stay with us. 2016 Sexiest Man Alive. Dwayne Johnson has some thoughts on John Legend being given the honor this year. Kevin Hart does too. Plus, former Victoria's Secret model Lily Aldridge is joining us here in studio live. Stick around for that.
All right, Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani celebrated 4 years together last month, and insiders tell People in this week's cover story that they're ready to take things to the next level.
They're ready, but a source says Blake was very serious about Gwen right from the start, and early on, he thought about proposing. But Gwen is a practicing Roman Catholic and wants to have a church ceremony with Blake, so the Roman Catholic Church does not allow remarriage after a divorce unless the earlier marriage is annulled, which can be a lengthy process.
So not even making an adjustment for them, it seems.
No way.
Yeah, both stars have been married before. Gwen split from her husband, Bush frontman Gavin Rossdale, in 2015 after 13 years together. Just weeks before, Blake finalized his divorce from country singer Miranda Lambert after 4 years together.
So the two singers returned to coach on The Voice right after their splits and bonded over their shared heartbreak. Many people are kind of surprised by their romance because on the surface level, it can seem like they are polar opposites. Country singer and friend Ray Lynn says, though, they are two really good-hearted people who have been through a lot and they connected. It's not even opposites attract. They both have incredible hearts, and good people attract good people.
Yeah, when they first got together, I didn't really see it, but now it makes a lot of sense.
No, absolutely. Especially if you watch The Voice, their chemistry is really great and really playful.
Now, at the time, the duo released a song inspired by their unexpected romance called Go Ahead and Break My Heart, and now they're teaming up again for a duet on Blake's new album, a heartfelt song called Nobody But You. And Blake recently said the song was the most epic, earth-rattling love song he's heard in a long time.
Some people concerned that Gwen wouldn't fit into Blake's life, kind of this down-to-earth camping camo guy, but an insider says Gwen has changed a lot since she met Blake, and it's all for the better. They said that she is much more relaxed and enjoys life more, so he's done good things for her.
Yeah, and it looks like the whole family is a fan of Blake. A source tells People he's so fun and has shown Gwen's kids another side of life filled with adventure. The boys have really grown immensely by spending time with Blake.
Gwen even revealed on the Today Show earlier this year that Blake has happily taken on some extra parenting responsibilities. An insider says Blake knows that he's an important part of the boys' lives, but respects that Gavin is their dad. He just wants what's best for the boys.
Now, things in the couple's future are looking very bright, the friend reveals. They fall more and more in love with one another, and their happiness quotient keeps rising.
Gwen opened up in September saying, "The giving and receiving, it all feels very even. It's what I thought love was supposed to be. It's pretty magical." So again, yeah, like what face value, I didn't know that they would be a great match, but it seems the more it plays out, it's really, really
Yeah,
good.
and I like seeing this country side of Gwen. I think it's really fun.
I also have hope that they're gonna, officially get married at some point. I feel like if they're determined to do it, they're gonna work it out.
We'll work it out. I don't think the church is making an exception here.
No, but figure out the annulments, whatever they need to do. Maybe they'll settle on like a wedding at Blake's farm in Oklahoma or wherever.
Yeah, I think they'll figure it out.
All right, let's move on to this. Watch.
Are we dead?
Bethany?
No, no, fridge?
I'm the old fat dude.
This can't be happening!
My hip sure feels good now.
Look at my thighs.
Look at your thighs.
Kevin Hart and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson are returning to the jungle with the rest of the gang in Jumanji: The Next Level. Looks so intense and also really, really funny.
Yeah, both Kevin and Dwayne are featured in this week's issue. They talk to us about everything from the movie to their friendship, family, and fame.
I love this story. Now, Dwayne has an almost 4-year-old daughter, Jasmine, and he didn't get the reaction he expected when he told Jasmine that he plays Maui in the movie Moana. He recently watched the movie with her, remembers saying, you know, that's Daddy's voice, and I'm gonna show you.
So as his character, he started singing as the character started singing on screen, Maui on screen during Moana, Dwayne starts singing in real life, and then Jasmine's response, Dwayne said, was within 10 seconds, she tried to like put a pillow over his mouth and said, "You're ruining the song," and ruining the I have done that with Beauty and the Beast with my girls. I start singing and
You ruin it?
I ruin it. They don't want to hear it.
You might remember Dwayne was named People's Sexiest Man Alive in 2016. Seems like he has some advice for this year's honoree, John Legend. Take a look.
I am sexiest man alive in what we call perpetuity. So my advice to John is enjoy this while you can, the crown, but the truth is in perpetuity, which means for life, I will always be the sexiest man alive. How about you?
Well,
What's your advice?
Here's the thing, and what's bothering me is I don't understand who's doing the judging, because I'm never even in the
The
running.
women and the men of the world are doing the judging.
But that's my problem. Like I haven't heard, oh, Kevin lost by 2 votes, or Kevin, it was close this year, Kevin Hart was in the race. Like there's absolutely nothing. And I think I've done a great job of preparing myself for the moment. I'm doing everything right. I'm doing everything
Sexy
right.
is a thing.
No.
It's just, it has to come from within.
No,
Watch
no.
this. Ready? Huh? See?
Look at this.
Look at the smile on her face. No, that's constipated.
No, let's get Kevin in the running here.
Yeah, look, obviously he's in the running. They are great together, great chemistry, very funny. But all jokes aside, they also told us what they actually admire about each other. Watch.
Admiration and appreciation for the approach to the long-term side of success. Like not celebrating just today. I'm still thinking about tomorrow and the day after. I like that there's still a want for more and to achieve more. I respect that and understand that.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
How do we count the ways?
Yeah.
I respect.
Count the ways.
All right. All jokes aside, for a guy in his position, you could kind of rest and be like, okay, I'm cool. I'm gonna ride off in the sunset and enjoy. He does that and he enjoys his life and his family, but he also has a real appetite and ambition to continue to do well. But what's cool about Kevin is his do well equates to serving an audience, which is very, very special.
Very nice, man.
Yeah.
See that? We can be nice. People don't understand. We can be nice to each other.
Yeah, a lot of love.
A lot of love there.
They're the best. Now, Jack Black, also back in this movie. He's as hilarious as ever. Now, no spoilers here, but he gets to portray a different person's avatar this time around.
And when we asked him what other character he would like to be in the future, he gave us a pretty interesting answer.
I've always wanted to play like a really like evil villain. Might be fun to do that at some point.
Oh, that'd be really, really fun.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm just thinking maybe. I really like Joaquin Phoenix in Joker, so maybe I could be the Penguin. But
That's
not
perfect.
Yeah, but not a funny penguin, but like a
a
real
straight up
serious.
evil.
Yeah.
Just like Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like a.
That guy wants to be funny.
It doesn't sound like it's gonna work though.
Yeah.
I think
Penguin, but a real hard look at a guy that.
I think Penguin would be a really good scary film.
Spin-off.
I do.
You can catch Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, and Jack Black in Jumanji: The Next Level when it hits theaters Friday, December 13th. All right, and we've been asking you to vote on which actor's character in Jumanji is your spirit animal in our People poll. Let's take a look.
The Rock.
Yeah, that's not too
I
surprising.
think a lot of us just wish that we had The Rock's stature.
Yeah.
You know, like if
The
I could even get
strength.
if I could get a third of his muscle mass, it
I
would
know.
change my life. Like even just like a smaller percent.
What would you do if you got that?
I mean, who knows? Who knows what I would do? Probably why I'm glad I don't have it. Anyway, who would want it, actually? Keep voting, guys. For now, we move on to this.
I'm working on a novel. It is a story of my life and my sister's.
Make it short and spicy. And if the main character is a girl, make sure she's married by the end.
The newest film adaptation of Little Women is directed by Greta Gerwig and has a star-studded cast including Saoirse Ronan, Timothée Chalamet, Emma Watson, Meryl Streep, and Laura Dern, plus 2 rising stars, Eliza Scanlon and Florence Pugh.
Yes, it's based on Louisa May Alcott's classic coming-of-age novel, which tells the story of the March family around the time of the U.S. Civil War. And although critics are raving about it, Greta Gerwig did not receive a Golden Globe nomination.
So on the Today Show Tuesday, Saoirse, Florence, and Eliza admitted that they were shocked that she was snubbed. We recently sat down with the cast, and they had nothing but praise for Greta's artistic vision.
This movie is like very, very well made. Apart from anything else, just from like a technical point of view, Greta has like her editing, her choice of color, her choice of pace. Like it's brilliant filmmaking. So just for like film buffs out there, it's a really interesting thing to go watch. So
and costume design and hair and makeup design, and I mean every detail of every craft was amazing.
Now, we all know that food brings people together. The women opened up about the huge homemade Irish dinner that they had, courtesy of Saoirse's mother. The dinner included a roast, some Irish delights, and some hugs.
Yeah, but that isn't the only way the cast got together off set. Greta tells us about the time that they all showed up to support Timothy.
Timothy was having to run and do publicity for Beautiful Boy at the same time. We all went as a group to go see Beautiful Boy in the movie theater, which was like amazing.
So sweet.
And it was also like we got to see this great performance that he gave. And then we saw him on set like Monday morning, like off of a red eye, just being like, I'm here. And I was like, geez, Louise, you guys are
You look terrible.
really cute. Go home.
Go home. We'll
No,
shoot
but it
another
was
day.
just this dedication to, you know, it's why I love working with Timothy. It's Saoirse, Tracy. I love working with artists who pick things they're passionate about and then really give it everything they have from beginning to end. And yeah, it's very impressive.
I think it'd be so fun to work with her.
Absolutely. Little Women hits theaters on Christmas Day, and the cast weighed in on how many times people should watch that movie. They all had different answers.
16?
I'm going on my
23.
Yeah.
I'm loving it every minute.
I heard that actually.
23
I mean, I went to see the film. I've only seen it once, and I saw it with my best friend and another mate of mine, and we all, and a boy. And these boys can go see it and they'll love it. But we all came out and we were like, we just want to go see it again.
Yeah.
Like because it's such a rich life. Like you're stepping into this world and you're so in love with these characters. You really, really are. And so just straight away you're like, I have to be a part of that again. I want to see them again. And it's almost like you want to check up on them or something.
And there's so many conversations that are happening in just one scene. Like you could be listening to two people talk, but if you just look in the background, there's a whole argument going on that actually if you watch it a second time, you're like, oh, they're talking about something completely different.
And structurally, I can't wait to see it because it's just such a full, incredible experience. But I can't wait to go back in and see how she interwove this tapestry of conversations, of Luisa's story and Joe's story and present and past. It's amazing.
All right, our guest today is a fashion model, an entrepreneur, and philanthropist. Her new perfume line, Lily Aldridge Perfume, is available now. Please welcome to People Now, Lily Aldridge. Hello.
Good to see you.
How are you?
We're already saying, oh my gosh, this stuff smells so good.
I know,
We're
I
gonna
have
get
one
to
for
that.
each of you.
Oh, thank
you so much.
Yes.
Totally.
We have so much to talk about.
Yes.
Let's talk about the holidays right around the corner. How do you and your family plan to celebrate holidays?
We just like to be at home. My house becomes like Christmas central. I'm like love decorations. It's like, you know, Christmas Vacation where we like plug the lights up and it's like you can see our house from outer space.
Oh, so you guys go all out.
We go all
It's like
out.
neighbors complain
Yes,
level. Okay.
totally.
Yeah.
No, our neighbors actually said we had the best Christmas lights they'd ever seen.
Oh, take that. And you're in Nashville, which
I'm
I
in
feel like
Nashville.
is a really nice festive, I don't know, place to be for the holidays.
It is. Yeah, it's amazing. We're actually going to see Home Alone tomorrow night with the whole family at the orchestra house. It like has the orchestra and Home Alone, so we're in the
That's
spirit.
cool.
Yeah.
That's really fun. So we were just talking about this before. You recently gave birth to baby number 2 a few months ago.
Yes.
And so how was life with 2? How did it change the most?
It's the best. Oh my God, I just love, honestly, the interaction between Dixie and Winston is just the sweetest thing. She's so in love with him and he's so in love with her. And like when she walks in the room from school, he's like, He like
Yeah.
can't control his excitement.
And you guys are sleeping and everything's
We're
good.
sleeping,
Yeah.
Winston turns 1 in a month.
Yes.
Very exciting.
I know.
How do you plan on celebrating the 1 year? Is
I
it
don't
be a
know.
big party?
We'll have a party with all his cousins, and he'll have his like first piece of cake. That's like what we did with Dixie.
Yeah.
She like literally wouldn't let it go for like the whole party. She just had like a clump of cake.
Yeah,
for
right.
The whole time. So
Yeah, and you want to have that big moment at least for the picture where they just
Yeah, totally.
slam their
They're
face
like,
in the cake.
"All right."
I know for our first little girl, we really prepped her for
Yeah.
her sister's birth and like,
Yeah.
hey, you get to take care of it, like to
Yeah.
help her be enrolled.
Yeah.
Did you do that with Dixie?
I
Like,
did.
how did
Oh my
that play
gosh,
out?
She is such a little mom. She'll literally be like, Mom, are you watching Winston? He'll be like crawling around the couch. I'm like, I got him. She'll be like, Mom, are you still watching him? Yes, I'm still watching
Like
him.
Dixie, you keep an eye
Yeah,
on it.
totally.
Mommy's gonna take a nap.
She is
Just kidding.
like a little sweet, like angel.
That's so cute.
I love it. All right, let's talk about this perfume
Yes.
here. Yeah, how did this come about? This fragrance here.
Yes, well, I wanted to create, you know, be a part of the beauty space, and I love fragrance. And Lily Ultra Perfume started about 2 years ago, the concept, and I've created 2 perfumes so far, Haven, and then this is Summit that just came out, and it is leather, tobacco, cardamom, really cozy and warm, and you know, it's just supposed to be just like a warm hug.
Well, by the way,
Yeah.
so I asked you about that when I first walked in. I said, how do you describe the
Yes.
smell? You were really involved in
Yeah.
the scents, right?
Yeah, I did everything.
I feel, is there a method to like cleansing the palate? I feel like
Yes.
after I smell like 3 things,
Yes.
I wouldn't be able to tell what I was really smelling anymore.
Well, that is true, and there's like the rumor is you're supposed to do like coffee grinds, but apparently you're not supposed to. You're supposed to smell like your shoulder, and then smell the next.
Okay, so BO cleanses the palate, and then you go back into the.
Really
got
nice,
it.
though. I think
But
it's
you're
really
supposed to like
beautiful.
spray and then like smell.
What is the weirdest scent
Now
you
I know.
smelled along the way?
I smelled, so when I went to the labs and was creating, they were like, you can bottle the essence of anything. Like I could bottle your guys' smell.
Oh.
Coming up next.
So I tried a horse. The smell of like a horse, and it smelled just like a horse had been running through the field. Didn't smell great.
Right.
But the second I smelled it, I was like, oh my God, this is like a horse. I like can see it.
Yeah, growing with horses,
It was
I'm a
crazy.
big fan. You have a pop-up as well, so tell me about that.
Yeah, I'm going to be at Cocoon today. One of my really great friends has an amazing store in New York, and we're doing a pop-up for Lily Eldridge Perfumes. He's kind enough to let us like invade the store, and usually it's only for sale at lilyeldridgeperfumes.com, but today and through the weekend it'll be at his store.
I'm not kidding when I say this smells so good. I know you're here plugging
I
it, and it seems like
love
I'm just in
you.
a
Thank
commercial.
you. No,
it's
I love you.
truly
Thank
amazing,
you.
and it's kind of like this neutral smell. I feel like a guy could wear it. a girl could
totally.
wear it.
Yeah, it's totally. I wanted to create a scent that my husband could wear, I could wear.
Yeah.
You know, and the response has been awesome. So.
Yeah.
Well, you did it.
Lovely.
Now you guys have it for the holidays.
Thank you so much.
You've been really busy, especially now. You're always busy,
Yes.
but you started a YouTube channel this
Yes,
summer,
yeah.
and you've been in front of the camera a lot of your life. This is a little different though. So what's
Yeah.
one thing about you that fans don't know, but you're excited to tell them?
Oh, I don't know. Like on my YouTube channel?
Yeah, like something about you that would be surprising.
Honestly, on my YouTube channel, I wanted people to see how like goofy and silly and dorky I am. That highlight. You know, because I feel like people usually see me so serious, and you see just a picture, and it's so hard to
strutting
get to-
down the runway.
Yeah, like, you know, on a runway, and that's my job, and I love it, but it's not my personality. And I feel like with YouTube, I've been able to create, you know, this space where people can see like my warm, you know, dorkiness.
Yeah. Is there someone who you kind of look to for inspiration in the YouTube world?
Honestly, YouTube is expanding so rapidly, and there's so many. I mean, like my daughter loves watching all the kids' YouTube, but I love all the beauty tutorials in the beauty space, and it's an incredible resource.
I love the idea of like people are used to seeing the fierce you.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
seeing the dorky behind the
I'm
fierce,
literally,
right?
yes.
Like it's a thing. And you also end yours. A lot of people say like and subscribe. You say like and describe.
I just can never get it right.
Oh, really? Oh, it's just a mistake that
It's
caught on?
always-
Like and describe.
Like and describe.
But it's gonna be dangerous to call for that on
Yeah,
YouTube. Like and describe what you think about
I know,
this.
totally.
But it
They're
is
like,
kind of a
well,
nice thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You suck at YouTube.
Do you deep dive in those comments? Because I would mute them.
I do go
Okay.
in the comments.
Well, you're
Everybody's really
braver than me.
Let's talk about this. There's been a lot of headlines surrounding Victoria's Secret and them ending the fashion show,
Yes.
not doing a fashion show in
I
2019.
know.
You were with the brand until 2018.
Yes.
Looking back at your time with Victoria's Secret, what's a memory that really sticks out and you're always going to cherish?
You know, the whole experience with all my friends that I've created through, you know, being the angels. And I mean, I still talk to Beate and Candace every day. We're like sisters for life. So I think, you know, just the relationships I made and the friendships I made it's something I'll have forever.
You've got such a legacy there in the world of fashion and that world. What
Yeah.
what is a brand that you kind of have your eye on that's kind of, that you feel like has a lot of momentum to kind of move forward in that space?
I mean, like Fenty is
Yeah.
like killing it. Her show is amazing, and I love everything about her, and her message is beautiful. And, you know, as soon as it went on sale, I was like, on Fenty.com, like, I'll take one of everything.
Yeah, with Rihanna, what do you make of kind of the way she's doing it in terms of representation and all those types of things?
I think it's beautiful, and that's how, you know, everybody's beautiful. We're all different. We all have, you know, something to deliver, and we should all feel and look beautiful when, you know, I think it's a beautiful message.
Absolutely. You're beautiful for many reasons. One of those reasons, the causes you support. So on your YouTube, you shared this behind-the-scenes event for Save the Children.
Yes.
Talk to us about that and what was going on there. This was in Capri, right?
Yes,
with Bulgari.
yes.
Tell us about what that organization means to you and why you're involved.
Yeah, well, Save the Children is an incredible organization that helps children all over the world. You know, even my back door in Nashville, we're doing a walk there to help children's education from 0 to 3 because it's such an important time in a child's life. So they just do amazing things for children all over the world. So
yeah,
it's a yay.
How has it impacted you personally, or something you've kind of taken away working with them?
You know, it just makes you realize how blessed we all are, and you know how important it is to give back. It's like my #1 thing I try to instill in my kids is the importance of giving back and how good that makes you feel, because you know we really are so blessed.
Yeah, it's really incredible.
Thank you
Good
so
stuff.
much for stopping by. Thank you for bringing us these
Yes,
two.
of course.
Everyone, check out Lily's perfumes, available at Lily Aldridge Parfums. That's PARFUMS.com.
I remember hearing stories about witches. Is it true what they say?
Ooh, this looks good. The Witcher is an epic series coming to Netflix December 20th that follows a monster hunter. Now, it's based on the best-selling fantasy series. There's also a very popular video game version.
Yeah, in fact, series lead Henry Cavill was an avid fan of the game before landing the role. He explained just how good he is, and it turns out he's not the only person in the cast to give that game a whirl.
I would never say pro, but I can tell you I did finish the game on Blood and Broken Bones. So I didn't quite do Death March. I consider Death March, there's 2 difficulty levels. That's like either really difficult or the most difficult. Death March was a bit too taxing on what was actually my free time. It took a lot of stress because you can't save it during Death March. You just, if you die, you reload to a very early point. And that became a little too stressful when I was supposed to be relaxing and enjoying myself.
Yeah, I have. I remember being sat at home when I got the part and ordered the game, and I sat there with my flatmate. She filmed me watching the opening sequence, and I have played a bit, but I'll leave that to my brother and his friends.
And much like the game, the series features a few sword fights. Henry shares he didn't have that much time to prepare for these fight sequences.
The most important training period that I had, I mean, honestly, throughout the show, it was trying to fit in any free moment I had. Was if the guys could send me a video, me sending thoughts back, and then on the day, pretty much learning the choreography, if not the day before, and then executing on camera. With the fight in episode 1, I was working with Wolfgang Stegemann. His team and I designed those fights together. We actually spent some time going through them, working out how to make sure the story was being told through the fight as well, while showing all of Geralt's abilities. So the training came with the building of the fight.
Now, you probably recognize Henry from his previous role as Superman, or maybe Mission Impossible. Freya Allen explained what it was like working with the actor.
I mean, he gave me so much advice about the industry. I couldn't pinpoint one particular thing. We've had really big talks about just the world and my worries about kind of what happens, you know, after the show comes out and everything. And he's just really supportive, and there's so many things there's so much advice he's given. And on set, it's just nice to kind of observe him, really.
Now, the makeup and prosthetics work throughout the series is extremely impressive, but the one thing each of these actors had to adjust to the most might have been the colored contacts.
The contacts were a tricky one. It was every 3 hours I had to take them out for about 20 minutes, because that part of your eye, I think, is the only part of your body where it gets oxygen from the air. Otherwise, it's all from the blood supply. And so if you have it covered, it's not getting oxygen. And so if you have your eyes covered for too long, then it starts to have a degenerative effect, which is obviously not good.
Freya stuck it out.
Yeah, I mean, I wore them the whole way through for 7 months, and except for crying scenes because you couldn't cry with them. But other than that, yeah, I wore them every day.
I had an awful experience with them. I remember the first day I wore them, and you had like my character. Doesn't require me to cry a lot, but she gets quite emotional, and it was very difficult with the contacts on to be able to, I don't know, just to see the people that you're working with.
I really liked the contacts. Aside from when I was staring, if it was direct light shining at me, I couldn't see much because the yellow in them, all I got was just a big yellow blur. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what it did for the character. I enjoyed what it did for people interacting with my character. And so for me, it was a very, very important component and something I'm looking forward to getting back into.
So if you've seen Henry's Instagram page, then you know that his dog Cow is never too far away from him. He was even able to bring him to the set.
He was there the entire time, yes. He spent most of the time in the trailer rather than on set because when he can see me but he can't get to me, he tends to start making a lot of noise. And we didn't want him running in halfway through a scene or halfway through a sword fight, especially because he would be taking people down. So he was either on lead or in the trailer, but he was always there.
You can't meet Henry without meeting the dog. I mean, the dog is like attached to Henry.
Cal's lovely. Yeah, I loved him.
Lea Michele is bringing all the Christmas cheer that you need in your life this December with her first ever Christmas album, Christmas in the City.
Plus, she is taking the album to the stage for a 3-day Christmas in the City concert, and she just starred in her first ABC Christmas movie. Same time next Christmas. Please welcome the 2019 Christmas Queen, Lea Michele, right?
I was just gonna say I'm taking over Christmas.
You are.
But I will take the Christmas Queen.
Which is a really good thing to have. Look, you've been obviously working a lot and you've been doing all these different projects. What have you loved the most about it and kind of revving up for the holidays? And are you already over Christmas before it even starts?
Well, I have been having a whole year of Christmas because I started recording the album at the beginning of the year and then I filmed my Christmas movie in August. And now I'm here doing my promotional tour. But what I would say the thing that I love the most and what I'm so excited about is I called this album Christmas in the City because it's all about my love for New York, my hometown, and it brought me here. And I get to be here for the holidays and sing at some of the most iconic places in New York, and nothing makes me happier.
That's really great.
Yeah. What song from the album gets stuck in your head the most? Christmas in New York, I swear.
Really?
And I wrote it, and I literally to myself the other day, I was like, I picked the most, like, this melody in the song. It gets stuck in my head all the time, and I'm like, I can't believe a song that I wrote is getting stuck in my head, but it
Just
is.
kind of humming it.
Yeah.
Humming that chorus.
Totally.
What's it sound like?
It's like da 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 da.
It's catchy.
Oh my God! And oh my God!
Well,
seriously.
especially because you're driving around the city, doing press and doing different things. I'm sure it's just like everywhere you look, it just feels like.
Well, all the lyrics in the song talk about real places in New York. So the other day we were driving, and I was like, oh my gosh, look at the windows of all the stores on Fifth Avenue. And then I was like, the windows on Fifth Avenue.
You got a line for everything.
For writing the song? Well, for writing the song, I just was like, okay, we need to talk about Central Park, and we need to talk about Rockefeller, and we need to talk about Macy's, and we need to talk about all the places that I remember growing up and just seeing during this time of year and being like, this is so magical.
Yeah.
And it has been such an incredible year for you. You just posted on Instagram celebrating your 9 months with your husband.
I know.
I'm that girl, guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's been 9 months, 5 days.
That's right. Yeah, you're counting like day by day. Like now
I'm
it's
like,
been
happy
9 months. and 6
anniversary.
days.
He's like, are we gonna do this every month? I'm like, yes, we are.
So 9 months, how is it different than when you first got married?
Oh, it's so great. You know, I mean, it's really no different. You know, I feel so blessed that I have such an incredible partner who gives me so much support. But we're certainly still in that like, oh my God, our wedding was the best day ever. And everyone is like, please stop talking.
Let's talk about holiday gift giving for Christmas with you and your hubby. Do you guys, I mean, do you know what you're getting him?
He already gave me my gift the other night. He's like, Merry Christmas.
Wait,
I was like,
really?
it doesn't really work that way. I know you're Jewish, but you got to give it on the day. What did you get?
There are rules.
I wanted this
like really cozy sweatsuit, and he got it for me. It was like really beautiful and like great material. But my mom and dad are very big gift givers. Like my mom really loves but what we try to do also is more experience gifts because it's kind of like lame. We're like 4 adults sitting giving under the tree, you know? Right. So, but we do this thing where everyone has to pick like one activity. We don't say what it is that we're gonna do. And then, and what?
You like spring it.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I'll be Tuesday, and then on Tuesday, I'll go and take the family for my day. And then it also becomes a little bit of a competition, so.
I love the experience thing. Is there an experience from the past?
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, everyone's was really good, but my dad, it was great. We were celebrating Christmas in California, which was so hard for me because it was like the 1 year in forever, but I think I was filming either Scream Queens or The Mayor, and I couldn't leave. And my dad took us all on this like cute little fishing boat, like all around LA, and it was like in December, but it was like so cute, and it was just all of us on the boat, and I really loved that one.
Going back to the album, you added the Frozen track, Do You Want to Build a Snowman? Which I think is adorable. Why was that important for you to add?
I love Frozen. My best friend Jonathan is in the movie, and I just love that song so much. I took my niece recently to see the Broadway musical, and it reminded me how much I love that song, and I wanted to make it a little bit more mature and a little bit more emotional, and it's one of my favorite tracks on the album.
So one of your, you mentioned Jonathan Groff, one of your songs features him as well, right?
Yes.
And also in the movie.
Yes, that's right.
So there's all this collaboration happening.
So here's what's really crazy. I'll tell you a super long story very quickly. Many moons ago, over 10 years ago, when Jonathan Groff and I were working on Broadway and no one really knew who we were, we would do these small little Christmas benefits in the city, and we would always sing I'll Be Home for Christmas. And we were like, let's do it like an island version because we really wish we could be somewhere warm right now. Right. And so we created this sort of Hawaiian version of I'll Be Home for Christmas. Well, now, 10 plus years later, that exact version of the song is on my record and also in my movie Same Time Next Christmas, where we are in Hawaii. So
unbelievable.
It's so
what a weird
crazy.
Full circle thing, right?
So, I mean, for me it is. You're probably like...
No, that's really great. That's nice to get the behind the scenes story.
Yeah, it's so great to kind of just like, I'm so proud of him. They just announced he's going to be in the new Matrix.
I know. What do you think?
Well, I've known about this for a long time.
Oh, really?
Such a hard secret for me to keep.
I'll bet.
Be like, Jonathan says something exciting.
Because they haven't told us any details really, but
I know everything, but I can't.
But if you had your choice of what kind of role it would be, good guy, bad guy?
I think it's always interesting to see someone play opposite of what they are, and he's like the nicest guy in the entire world, so playing darker might be fun.
Ooh,
so
maybe
maybe it's a darker role.
So maybe.
I'm leaning on that was a cool. All right, there's also a song on the album with Darren Criss.
Yes.
White Christmas.
I love Darren.
How cool is that? So talk about that, the collab, and what that meant to you and why.
Well, I really wanted to bring in that Broadway element as well, and both Darren, Jonathan, and Cynthia are all Broadway powerhouses, but Darren is one of my dearest friends. We were on tour last year together for our LMDC tour that we do, which is so much fun, getting to travel the world with him and perform with him on stage every night. But he and his wife were all very close. I mean, he sang at my wedding, I sang at his wedding. And I love Darren, so there'd be no way I would make this record without him.
It's all this like Glee stuff coming up. I feel like it must be fun for you to revisit, and I know fans and everyone asks all the time, but when you're with these people doing new things, what do you all reminisce about most when it comes to the time you were on Glee?
Oh, wow, that's a really good question. Well, I would say, Jonathan and I have had a lot of experiences outside of Glee, so we don't talk about Glee as much as we talk about our Broadway experiences together, but Darren and I are always like, wasn't that so crazy that night that we had to like stay on set till like 6 in the morning and we were like doing a musical number in a swimming pool? And like, I was like, wow, we did that. Like, that's crazy.
And then also with Cynthia, she's having quite the year.
Yes, oh my God, Oscar nomination.
Yeah.
Golden Globe.
Yeah, Globe nomination.
I'm foreseeing the future.
right.
That's gonna happen, so. And maybe even a win, but she's so wonderful and so incredibly talented. That voice on her is amazing. And I did not think she would say yes because I know how busy she is. And I was like, will you please, I know Cynthia well, we're good friends. And I was like, will you please sing on my record? And she was like, sure, what do you want me to do? And I was like, Angels We've Heard on High. And she did it. It was so great.
All right, you mentioned your Christmas movie.
Yes.
Same Time Next Christmas.
Yes.
You shot in Hawaii.
I did.
Best part and then the most challenging part of
Okay, good question. Best part would be the fact that we were in Hawaii. And then that
also kind of was the worst part too, because all I wanted to do was swim and like not wear my makeup and just to like be on the beach all day. But I was like, nope, I have to work.
You mentioned Scream Queens earlier. Gotta ask you about this. You've had so many, everything you've done is just so fantastic. But Scream Queen stuff, people have seen Emma Roberts rocking a hairstyle that looked much like her character on Scream Queens, and they got everyone excited that it's coming back and that it's returning. Is it?
I will say this hair on Rob, on Emma, is just because this is like the most fabulous hair. This is my favorite hair on her. When she came to dinner a couple of like weeks ago and she showed up, I was like, oh my God, this is like the most major. I feel like Chanel would be more platinum.
Okay, but it's leaning towards Chanel.
We're in. I mean, I'm speaking for Emma right now.
Yeah.
She's gonna kill me. But I saw Kiki the other day. I mean, it was such a challenging show to film. I mean, we did a lot of intense stuff, but also like the most fun. And out of anything I've ever done, I texted Ryan Murphy, I'm like, people want to talk about Scream Queens.
Yeah,
like,
it keeps coming up, right?
I'm there. Just give me my neck brace and
I'm ready to go.
Esther's ready to come back.
I mean, when you text him something like that, what's his response? Is he down or is it?
I mean, I don't know with that project in particular. Like, I do think that so many of the fans, but I think that there's a lot of things that go, into these things that we may not understand.
Sure.
I really feel with Scream Queens, like it did get cut short. Like I believe they should have, so to hear that they want to bring it back, like that feels awesome.
Yeah, where do you think your character would be now?
Well, at the end of season 2, I was on a deserted island with John Stamos, and we were making out. So I'm sure she'd still be there with him.
It's so good to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
This is so fun.
Congrats
Can I stay?
Yeah,
Can you just sit here and sing with us?
Yeah, everyone be sure to pick up Leah's new Christmas album, Christmas in the City. The 11-track collection is available everywhere now.
Also, you can see Leah perform the album and more live in concert. She's performing 3 shows at the Concert Hall at New York Society for Ethical Culture in New York City, starting Thursday, December 19th. Be sure to check that out as well.
All right, what better way to celebrate the holiday season than with some yummy holiday treats? And Ivy Odom, the host of the new The Southern Living Show, has you covered.
So Ivy, who also hosts Southern Living's popular Hey Y'all video series on IGTV, is baking up some delicious brownies for a festive hot chocolate party. Take a look.
Measuring out my flour first, I really want to get everything kind of situated and ready to rock and roll before I get started actually cooking the recipe. So, measuring my flour, we're going with a 1 1/4 cup. I'm mixing all of my dry ingredients together first. So flour, cocoa powder, kosher salt, 1 cup, which is 2 sticks of butter. When your butter is almost all the way melted, add in some chopped chocolate. After your chocolate and butter are melted together, you can stir in your vanilla and turn the heat completely off. Time to get into the mixer. I have 3 whole eggs and 1 egg yolk, and then I'm going to put in my sugars. Brown sugar for extra depth of flavor, and granulated sugar.
Ooh, I'm hungry for this.
Me too.
Ivy then stirs the mixture so it's what she calls to the ribbon, which means it's really thick. Then she adds the dry ingredients. Then it's melted chocolate and butter, and to top it all off, some chocolate chips. You can never have too much chocolate, right?
No, you can't. Then you spread the mixture into a pan and bake the brownies at 350 degrees about 25 to 30 minutes or until the tops of the brownies are shiny. Ivy's got one more finishing touch.
My personal favorite way to serve these brownies: stir in the chocolate chips and top it with this flaky sea salt. Y'all, it's gonna be so good. The great thing about lining your pan with parchment paper, look how easy those brownies came out of the pan, y'all. Once they cool all the way, they are ready to slice. I actually like to slice mine into kind of funky shapes because it's like everybody's seen a square brownie, but not everybody has seen a funky shaped brownie. So do it up this year. It's 2019. You do you.
You do you with your funky shaped brownies.
Change up the shapes. To get
I love her and
yeah.
that little recipe. To get the full recipe for this and more festive dishes, pick up a copy of Southern Living's December issue.
And keep a lookout for Ivy on the Southern Living Show when it premieres in April of 2020. Now, take a listen to this.
Something interesting has happened with my career. It's crazy. I'm suddenly getting all kinds of offers, and I'm getting all kinds of awards for just being alive, I guess. I get the feeling that all these people are saying, "Quick, let's give her a lifetime achievement before she kicks the bucket."
It was a banner day having her here. Rita Moreno turns 88 years old today, and we're honoring the legendary actress in the latest episode of People and Katie Couric's #SeeHerStory.
It's a weekly video series celebrating female trailblazers from the past 100 years, and Rita is quite the trailblazer.
The first Latina to EGOT, winning an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. Meet Rita Moreno. Born Rosa Dolores Alvario in Puerto Rico in 1931, Rita, or Rosita as her family called her, moved to New York City with her mother when she was only 5. A natural talent, by 10, Rita was singing and dancing at parties and soon started getting roles on the stage and later the big screen. By 22, she was a star, but was frustrated by the roles she was given.
I became the house ethnic, and that meant that I had to play anything that was not American.
By 1962, finally a role she was born to play, Anita, a fellow Puerto Rican in West Side Story.
Life can be bright in America.
She won an Oscar for her performance, the first Latina to do so.
I can't believe it.
But that didn't mean she got better roles.
I couldn't get a job to save my life. There were a few offers, but the offers that were offered were minor movies with gangs. I just couldn't believe it.
Rita pivoted and turned to TV. In 1973, she won a Grammy for the cast album of The Electric Company. She put the T in EGOT, winning a Tony for The Ritz.
Everything's coming up rusted.
She won an Emmy for her 1977 appearance on The Muppet Show.
You give me fever.
Making her one of just 15 people in the world with all 4 prestigious awards.
I mean, Rita Moreno is thrilled, but Rosa Dolores Alvario from Humacao, Puerto Rico is undone.
Over her 70-year career, Rita Moreno has inspired other Latina performers.
Watching this beautiful, strong Puerto Rican woman command the screen with her talent in a time when Latina women did not have every door in this industry open to them made me feel, as a little girl watching in her living room in the Bronx, that anything was possible.
At 88, Rita's not slowing down. She's producing and starring in a new updated version of West Side Story.
Instead of Doc, who owns the candy store, I am going to play Valentina, who owns the candy store. There you go.
And clearly, she'll never stop speaking her mind.
I have no objection to playing a Hispanic. I have every objection to playing a stereotype.
Wow, such a trailblazer.
Yeah, what a legend.
All right, coming up tomorrow, guys, we're joined live by actress Madison Eisman, who stars alongside Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart in the new Jumanji film.
Plus, Angela Bassett is sharing with us how her mother's death inspired her to want to help others focus on their health. Thank you so much for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from Fuller House's Kimmy Gibbler. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Hi, I'm Andrea Barber, and this is One Last Thing. My last girls' night was a time I can't remember because it's been so long. So I'm going to tell you my next girls' night out is coming up with Candace Cameron Bure and Jodie Sweetin. We're taking a little vacation together to celebrate the end of Fuller House. My last moment of bliss was the first time I held a copy of my book, Full Circle. It was a dream come true. The last time I couldn't stop crying was when we shot the final episode of Fuller House.
Whisper she-wolf howl on 3.
It was very emotional.